In 2013, a Japanese animation studio called Wit released the first season of a series called Attack on Titan. Within 12 months, it had become the first anime in history that mainstream Western television critics treated as comparable to prestige American drama. The New York Times wrote about it. The Guardian wrote about it. People who had never watched anime in their lives were comparing it to Game of Thrones. By the time it ended in 2023, episodes of Attack on Titan were appearing on lists of the highest-rated television episodes ever made, in any medium, across all of IMDb. Most anime never crosses this barrier. Most anime is, in the Western media ecosystem, treated as a children's category, regardless of content. Attack on Titan broke that classification in a way no series before it had. The reasons are structural, and they are worth understanding because they explain a lot about how cultural products travel between markets. To understand what made Attack on Titan different, you have to understand what almost every other anime that tried to break into prestige TV territory did wrong. The first thing most anime does wrong, from a Western prestige TV perspective, is pacing. Japanese television animation has historically been produced to fit specific commercial structures: 12-episode seasons, 24-episode seasons, long-running shonen series that span hundreds of episodes. The pacing of these formats is built around weekly viewing with frequent recaps, flashbacks, and stretched-out plot beats. To a viewer trained on 12-episode HBO seasons, where every minute carries forward momentum, traditional anime pacing feels meandering. The plot does not advance fast enough. Characters spend whole episodes thinking. Attack on Titan did the opposite. The first season, 25 episodes long, killed off the protagonist's mother in the second episode. The second main character died in the 5th episode. The status quo was destroyed and rebuilt 3 times in the first 13 episodes. The pacing was extremely Western. The momentum was extremely Western. Western critics, watching the first season, recognized the rhythm immediately. It was, structurally, a Game of Thrones first season. The second thing most anime does wrong, from a prestige TV perspective, is tonal commitment. Most anime, even dark anime, has tonal escape valves, comedic relief characters, chibi cutaway scenes, fan service. These are conventions of the medium that Japanese audiences read fluently. They are also, to a Western prestige TV audience, immediately disqualifying. The presence of a chibi cutaway in the middle of a serious scene reads, to that audience, as a signal that the work should not be taken seriously. Attack on Titan, particularly in its first season, almost completely refused these conventions. The tone was grim from the first episode and stayed grim. There were almost no comedic moments. There were no chibi cutaways. The fan service was minimal and contextual. The show committed to its tone the way a prestige drama commits to its tone. The third thing most anime does wrong is animation budget allocation. Japanese television animation is famously underfunded. Most series produce 12 to 13 episodes a quarter, on schedules that allow only a few weeks per episode, with budgets that do not support consistent quality across all episodes. The result is that animation quality fluctuates dramatically within a single series. One episode might have brilliant sequences. The next episode might cut corners visibly. Attack on Titan's first season was produced by Wit Studio, which had been founded in 2012 specifically to produce Attack on Titan as its first major project. The studio existed because the project existed. Every resource Wit had was concentrated on the show. The animation quality was, by Japanese television standards, exceptional. The action sequences in particular were comparable to theatrical animation. Western viewers who did not know anything about Japanese animation production economics took the high quality for granted and assumed it would continue. The fourth structural advantage Attack on Titan had was that its source material had already been recognized by Japanese critics as serious literature. Hajime Isayama, the manga author, had created a work that engaged with themes of military ethics, generational trauma, political philosophy, and the nature of cyclical violence. The themes were treated seriously in the manga. The anime preserved that seriousness. This was not a cartoon for children that happened to be intense. It was, in its source material, a serious work treated seriously. The fifth advantage, which became clearer over the course of the series, was that the show had a planned ending. Hajime Isayama had a finite story to tell. The manga ran for 11 years and ended in 2021. The anime ran for 10 years and ended in 2023. Both had endings. This is structurally the opposite of the way most popular Japanese media works. Most successful shonen anime continues for as long as it sells. One Piece has been running for 28 years. Naruto ran for 15. Bleach ran for 16 and was canceled in the middle. Attack on Titan, by contrast, was built like a Western prestige drama from the start. It had a beginning, a middle, and an end. The narrative was a closed system. The combination of these 5 structural features, fast pacing, tonal commitment, exceptional animation quality, serious thematic source material, and a planned ending, made Attack on Titan unusually compatible with the way Western prestige drama audiences expect a story to behave. There was one additional factor which is worth examining because it produced the most dramatic moment in the show's reception history. In 2020, after 3 full seasons produced by Wit Studio, the production of Attack on Titan moved to a different studio called MAPPA. The reason was that Wit could not commit to the schedule the final season required. MAPPA agreed to take over the production. The producers later said that MAPPA was the only studio that would even consider it. Western audiences, particularly those who had grown up watching anime, were initially worried. Studio changes mid-series often signal trouble. The visual style usually changes. Production quality often drops. The animation can become inconsistent. What happened with MAPPA's takeover of Attack on Titan's final season was the opposite. The animation quality continued to escalate. The action sequences became more ambitious. The final season was, by general agreement, the most visually accomplished section of the series. MAPPA was, at the time, one of the few animation studios in Japan with both the capability and the willingness to take on extremely difficult prestige projects on impossible schedules. This continued visual quality through the studio transition was a critical signal to Western viewers. It said, in effect, that the project was being treated as a flagship by its production team, not as a license to be exploited. Prestige drama audiences notice this. They notice when a final season feels like a final season rather than a rushed conclusion. The result, when Attack on Titan ended in 2023, was that Western media coverage of the finale treated it like the end of a prestige drama, not like the end of an anime. The New York Times wrote a feature. The Atlantic wrote a feature. The kind of articles that had previously been reserved for HBO finales were now being written about a Japanese animated series. Crunchyroll, the anime streaming platform, gave Attack on Titan the first ever Global Impact Award at the 2025 Anime Awards, specifically recognizing the show's role in opening Western mainstream attention to anime as a serious medium. The lesson buried in this story applies far beyond anime. When a cultural product wants to cross from a peripheral market to a central one, the work has to be legible to the central market's existing conventions. Attack on Titan was extremely Japanese in its themes and its visual language, but it was also, in its narrative structure, its tonal commitment, and its production values, legible to viewers trained on Western prestige drama. The peripheral market did not have to change. The work itself had to be built in a way that could be read by both markets. Most Japanese exports to the West are not built this way. They are built for the Japanese market, and Western reception is a bonus if it happens. Attack on Titan was, deliberately or not, built in a way that was readable to both. The Western market saw what they were trained to see in the show. The Japanese market saw what they were trained to see. Both readings produced enthusiasm. That dual readability is rare. It is also the structural reason this show, and not the dozens of other excellent anime that have been produced in the same window, became the show that broke the prestige barrier. If you found this interesting, subscribe. We go deep on the structural reasons cultural products succeed or fail in markets they were not built for. Drop your requests in the comments. Thanks for watching.